400 men's quarter, first round. I'll just read some highlights, and you can jump in and add and discuss whatever you'd like. Randolph Ross, North Carolina A&T star, NCAA champion, only guy under 44 this year, goes out. I thought Stephen Gardner looked really good and composed, and Michael Norman got second in his heat, and Michael Cherry of the U.S. advanced, as did Wayde Van Niekerk, the world record holder.
Hmm. I was very, very excited to see Van Niekerk. He has been dealing with injuries. It feels like I haven't seen him race in about 4 years. Maybe he's had a race here and there. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just very curious to see how in shape he was and to see if he looked different. You know, you're expecting so much. The 43:03 is on the screen during the 400. And to see the man who ran that
Yeah.
right there with everybody else was just kind of it was shocking to see. But he had, like I said, he has been dealing with injuries. And it's just about getting race conditioning in. It was good to see him though. The 400s were fast. It hurt to see Ross get out. Cherry does what he needs to do every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a good race.
Are you concerned at all about Norman? I just feel like there's always going back to trials. Remember, Michael Johnson was saying how he doesn't really look confident, and we were having fun with that comment because we knew he was going to get it together. But I remember back in Doha, he was carrying that injury. He said afterwards, but it just things like look a little bit more difficult than they should in the early rounds for him an awful lot of times, and we don't know. Hey, are you playing coy here or what's going on?
It might sound crazy, but I judge Norman's conditioning off of Ry Benjamin's conditioning. So if Ry Benjamin looks good, I know Michael Norman is going to be fine too. And even Ry Benjamin was kind of scaring us a little bit at trials throughout the first round. And then
Hmm.
he got the hang of it. So I think that Norman is going to do the same thing, honestly. They go hand in hand to me.
Well, that'd be good. That'd be good news for Norman because right now Benjamin looks pretty solid. I don't. You're going to qualify right with your Michael Norman. It's 100 meters to go, but then there's this guy out there who's really pushing it. Do you go after him to win the heat and to stretch your legs out, or are you just like, hey, whatever, man, I'm fine?
You play it smart. You play it smart every time. Why do that in the semifinal? There's a final for a reason. If you know that you're going to make it into the final, do it then. But
Yeah.
obviously, you can't relax too much, and
Hmm.
you have to see the pace of the heat. You know, that's a major thing. A lot of the top athletes want to, do the thing that they did at trials. They just want to cruise in, relax, and
Yeah.
everything. But there's other people who have a target on their back, and they're like,
Hmm.
no, we're not relaxing. I'm going to run a 47:31, and that's just going to be the way it is. So you can't end up relaxing. So
Well, and you don't really know, right, who's gonna just go try to be a hero in the first round, or who's gonna be a semi. So I imagine it's difficult if you're measuring yourself off of somebody else and they're running their final right now, and you're like, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for. That's got to be difficult to make a decision in that moment versus the final where you're just going to say, screw it, it's everything I have.
it is very difficult. I have been in a situation where I'm like, okay, well, this is just going to be an easy. Let's just get through to the final. Top two gets through to the final, and then everybody else is like, no, I want to break the world record in this race right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it can throw you off. It can definitely throw you off because you had a race strategy, and now all of a sudden you're running off of them because you're just trying to
Mm-hmm.
qualify. So it can be difficult.
Yeah.
But I think he played it really smart.
I will say Gardner looked really controlled, really comfortable. I mean, maybe part of that is he didn't have a guy in his heat who was really pushing hard for the win. He controlled that race, but Gardner ran like a favorite there, like got command and then shut it down early. So we shall see. Always interesting in these rounds with Michael Norman.